Hey everyone, hope you're having a great day. I'm getting ready to jump in the car and run over to sit down with Mary McGuire to ask her a few questions and give you all a chance to get to know her. Come on and join me in the talk. So, Mary, I appreciate you taking a little bit of time out of your Sunday afternoon and talking to me.
Oh, well, that's fine. There's not a whole lot to do today with all the rain, thank goodness. We needed the rain so bad.
We did. I'm so glad we're getting it.
Yes, me too.
It's a good slow rain too.
Yes.
It's not.
Yes.
It's not running off. It's soaking in.
Right.
So, thank you for your note you wrote with your faith story in it, and I just wanted to learn a little bit more about it. Tell me about your Grandpa John.
My Grandpa John, he was quite a character. He was probably not much taller than me, and he had been a school teacher at one time. He told me that he rode horses at one time in races when they were competing in Clarksville when they'd have races.
Oh wow, I didn't know they did that.
Well, I didn't either, but he was telling me this, and because he was so little,
Uh-huh.
But he was quite a little character. But now he loved to study his Bible, and he loved Sunday school. He was a big Sunday school teacher. He was an adult Sunday school teacher.
So he was a pretty big influence on you then, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. Yeah, he was, and he was a storyteller. He would sit for hours and tell us kids stories of things that he got into when he was younger. And I guess he was a little mischievous too. So.
The best storytellers usually are.
But he told lots of stories. And I could just really, I wish that I would have sat with a recorder and recorded a lot of them, because we never hear them anymore. And of course, they were really kind of interesting.
Wow. So, he was the Sunday school superintendent?
Yeah, he was the Sunday school superintendent for many, many years.
Okay. Now, what church was this?
This was, it was Batson Baptist Church, and now then it's no longer a church. It's been sold. It got down to 2 people going, and one of them was my aunt, who was 90-something years old, and a friend, the neighbor of my mama's and dad's up on the mountain. They were the last 2 ladies that was going to the church. And finally they said, we're going to have to close the doors. We just can't keep it open. And the other day I drove down by there, and somebody has bought it and turned it into a home.
More and more of that happening, isn't there?
Yeah.
That's kind of sad. So, how old were you when you started going to church?
Oh gosh, baby. I mean, I was small when Mother and Daddy was taking us all to church. I was really young. And we had the same pastor now he didn't marry me in Eugene, but there was a young man that was going to the college up here at the college. And he was the one that ended up marrying us. But Mr. Payne, our preacher that had been there, the whole time. He wasn't that active in the church anymore. And when it closed, there was a guy from, I think from Alma or Van Buren one, that was coming up there and being the pastor. But Mr. Payne was there, I guess, till he almost passed away. He was there for years and years and years.
Well, that's pretty special.
Yeah. He was the one that baptized me, the one that had been there for so many years. But
so I know you wrote in here that you were baptized when you were 13, but then you wound up falling away from church a little bit.
I went till I was, from 13, I went till I was let's see, I left the mountain when I was 18, I guess. And then I come to town, and you know how that is. Got with a bunch of other kids that was running around all over Clarksville, and just quit going to church, like I should have.
I had the same experience.
Did you?
I did.
And then I met Eugene, and he wasn't going to church either. And now his granny and grandpa that lived in this house right over here, his granny was determined we were going to go back to church, and so she got us going back to church, and then we went to the Mount Olive church. So
okay,
yeah, that's how we got back or got over there. And Eugene went to the Methodist church. He went to the Lamar Methodist church for a long time because they lived in that little house right down there.
okay.
When he was growing up. But then they bought out in the country and got a farm,
Yeah.
And but he went to the Lamar Church for many years.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he did.
So were you guys married in the Baptist church, or
Yes.
were you married?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We were married in the Baptist church up on the mountain.
Okay. So and how old were y'all when you got married?
I was 23 and he's 24.
Okay.
So we've been single a long time.
It's and you put in here that God does work in strange ways, and He does. He just seems to have a way of putting us where we need to be at the time we need to be there. And so you kind of falling away, kind of pulled you and Eugene
And the
together.
funniest thing about it was when, Lamar always had a name for being kind of a hoodlum place. A lot of the guys were pretty ornery that grew up in Lamar. And the first night that I met him, of course, we was running up and down the streets of Clarksville, just driving up and down, to whoever you could meet. And he, at the time, when I moved to Clarksville, I was living with my grandmother. I had, my mother's mother lived in Clarksville and had for years. And so I moved in with her. And I was in town that night with a friend of mine, and we were driving around on the streets, and he drove in beside me, and he wanted me to get in the car with him and ride around with him and his buddy. And I said, I'm not getting in the car with you. You're from Lamar. You're nothing but a hoodlum. But I changed my idea.
Well, he talked you into it.
He talked me into it, yeah.
He did. He did. So, got a great family together.
Yes, got two boys, two wonderful boys, and a daughter-in-law, just one daughter-in-law.
So, at this stage of your life, what does church mean to you now?
Well, church is just a real important part of our week. That's one of the things that we look forward to, is to going to church and meeting all our family members over there, and it's just been a good place to be.
Well, that's the thing I really love, and I wish everybody understood that about the small churches, the rural churches, because it is a family.
Yes, it is. It is.
It really is, and the connection there is just special.
Yes, it is.
So I really appreciate you guys and the connection that y'all have, and that's why I wanted to do these interviews, is because I want to tell some other people about how special this place is. Really, both of these churches.
Right.
And maybe give some folks out there the opportunity to tell us their story.
Yeah.
And so, if someone were looking for a church, what would you say to them?
I would tell them that Mount Olive or Lamar, either one, would be a great church to go to, because there's great people that goes there, and we have a wonderful preacher, and I just think it would be a nice place to go.
Well, I don't think they could be in a place with better folks.
Oh no, I don't either. No, it's a good bunch of people that go there. Miss Lily and Earl and Nina and Sue, you just can't beat them. They're just great people. And I love it because the kids are coming now.
Yes.
They're such cute little fellows.
It is. Churches need the sound of children.
Yes, yes.
I remember when my kids were little and they'd get to acting out or whatever, and I'd get embarrassed, but it didn't bother anybody. You know, it didn't bother anybody.
No.
So, well, do you have anything else that you want to add? Is there anything special God is doing in your life at this point, this stage?
Well, He's just made it possible for me and Eugene to retire and kind of enjoy each other now. I mean, we worked for so many years, because I worked 55 years fixing hair, and he worked for 30 some odd years driving a truck. So, you know, it's now we have an opportunity to retire and kind of enjoy each other, and that was all God's doing, keeping us busy.
Yes. So, how long did you cut hair in this building?
40, just about 40 years, I guess.
Wow.
In this building. And then the rest of the time I worked in Clarksville.
Okay.
Yeah, I worked, me and another girl had a shop in Clarksville. I started out working for a lady that was an older lady, and she was just like a mama to all of us girls that went to work for her. And then me and another girl, she retired, and me and another girl opened a shop of our own, and it was out by where the new Walmart store is now. It was out in an old roller skating rink out there, and we opened up a shop out there, and I worked there till I come down here.
Well, this is a nice little spot. And now that you're retired, it can just kind of be a hangout for you.
Oh yeah, it is. It's just a hangout. And every once, I've still got some boys that, run around with my boys, that they come and beg me out of a haircut every once in a while. So I still do a haircut every once in a while to keep my time busy.
Hey, why not?
Well, that's right.
Well, all right. I will let you get back to your day, but I really do appreciate you taking.
Well, you're welcome. I was surprised that you wanted to talk to me.
Well, your story really struck me, and part of it may be because it is so similar to mine.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I left the church when I was right out of high school.
Oh, is that right?
And I did, and
well, that's what I did,
for a variety of reasons, and honestly, it was my first child that brought me back.
Is that right?
I couldn't. We had Nicole, and looking at her, I just could not imagine her not growing up in church.
Yeah.
And so I shopped around. I grew up in Methodist church, but I shopped around for a while, and we went and visited First United Methodist in Russellville, and it just felt like home.
Yeah.
And so we stuck.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I know when Eugene, after we got married, and then it was, 4 years before we had Brandon, and I told him, I said, we need to get the kids in church. They need to be going to church somewhere. I grew up in church. I said, you went to church too. And I said, the boys need that. Of course, they don't go like they need to, but I'm working on them. I'm working on them, trying to get them.
Planting seeds.
That's right.
That's it.
And, I told him, I said, I know I grew up in the Baptist church, but, the Methodist church, if that's where you want to go to, that's fine with me, just so we get back to church. So That's how we ended up in the Methodist church. And then I found out.
Put you where he wants you.
That's right. And then I found out later on, my daddy told me, he said, well, he said, your grandma, this little guy's wife, Grandpa John, his wife, he said she was a Methodist and ended up in the Baptist church when she was growing up.
Well, you had to come over here to balance everything
That's
out.
right. That's right.
I really hoped you enjoyed learning a little more about Mary and getting to know her and hearing her story. I'd like to invite you to come tell us your story. We'd like to get to know you a little more too. So come see us at Mount Olive United Methodist Church or Lamar United Methodist Church. You'll have all the information right here at the end of the video. Have a great day.